The great ships of the Kilari Dominion hung in the darkness of space like metal sharks, their silver hulls reflecting the distant starlight. For 300 years, they had moved from system to system, finding the harshest planets and bending them to their will. The Kilari called themselves the Deathworld Tamers, and no planet had resisted them yet. Admiral Vextor stood tall on the bridge of his command ship. His gray skin was marked with the ritual scars of 100 conquests. He stared at the view screen showing the newly discovered solar system. His six-fingered hand tapped a steady rhythm on the metal rail before him. "Show me the third planet again," he ordered. The screen zoomed in on a blue and green sphere. White clouds swirled across its surface. Data symbols appeared, showing readings of the planet's conditions. "This Terra is most unusual, Admiral," said his science officer, Zixtal. "The gravity is 20% higher than our homeworld. The temperature ranges from freezing to scorching, sometimes in the same region within a single-day cycle. The atmosphere contains corrosive oxygen at levels that would burn our lungs without protection." Vextor's 4 eyes narrowed. "A perfect Class 5 death world. And yet our probes detect signs of intelligent life." "Yes, Admiral. The creatures call themselves humans. They appear to have achieved spaceflight, though their technology is primitive compared to ours. They have settled their entire planet despite its harsh conditions." "Fascinating," Vextor said. "Prepare a full report for the High Council. This will be our next conquest." Across the room, Navigator Kilvin looked up from his station. "Admiral, if I may, the readings suggest this planet might be even more dangerous than a standard Class 5. Perhaps we should send additional scout ships before committing the fleet." Vextor turned slowly. "Are you suggesting the Dominion cannot handle this world, Navigator?" Kilvin lowered his gaze. "No, Admiral. I merely suggest caution." "Caution is for lesser species," Vextor said. "The Kilari Dominion has conquered 67 death worlds. This Earth will be 68. He turned to his communications officer. "Contact the High Council. Tell them I request the 12th Armada for standard conquest protocol." Meanwhile, on the blue planet below, Navy pilot Kate Summers guided her fighter jet through the clouds over the Pacific Ocean. Rain pelted her cockpit as she navigated the storm, the controls steady in her hands. "How's it looking back there, Joey?" she asked through her headset. Her wingman, Joey Alvarez, kept his jet 20 feet behind hers. "Just another day in paradise, Kate, though I could do without the lightning." Kate smiled. "What, you don't like a little excitement on patrol?" "I get enough excitement trying to beat your high scores in the simulator," Joey replied. "Speaking of which, I think we should head back to base soon. This storm's getting worse." Kate started to agree when her radar screen beeped with an unusual signal. "Joey, are you seeing this? Something just appeared at the edge of our detection range." "I got it too. Way too high for commercial traffic. Space debris maybe." Kate frowned and adjusted her instruments, moving too regularly for debris, and it just changed direction. "Should we report it?" "Definitely." Kate switched channels on her radio. "Base, this is Eagle 1. We're picking up anomalous readings at coordinates 34 by 128, high Earth orbit. Requesting." Her words cut off as her instruments suddenly went wild. The radar screen filled with static, and her navigation system reset itself. "What the hell?" Joey's voice came through broken with static. "Kate, are you seeing this?" Kate stared upward through her cockpit window. For just a moment, she thought she saw a flash of silver among the stars, too straight and perfect to be natural. "Joey, I think we need to get back to base now." As their jets turned back toward land, they didn't see the small Kilari scout ship that briefly entered the atmosphere before disappearing again. Inside that ship, alien eyes watched the Earth fighters with great interest, recording everything for the coming invasion. The conquest of Earth was about to begin. Commander Zixtal did not like Earth from the moment their scout ship entered its atmosphere. The gravity pulled at his bones, making each step painful. Even through his protective suit, he could feel the planet's hostility. Oxygen levels too high, reported his science officer. Temperature fluctuating wildly. Detect numerous microorganisms in the air. Our suits will only protect us for 6 hours. Zixtal nodded. His team of 5 Kilari had landed in a region the humans called the Rocky Mountains. Trees taller than Kilari buildings surrounded them. In the distance, snow-covered peaks despite the warm air where they stood. How do they survive here? Asked Talon, the team biologist. The radiation from their sun alone should damage their cells beyond repair. That is why we study them, Zixtal replied. Take samples. Record everything. The Admiral wants to know their weaknesses before the main fleet arrives. The team spread out, collecting soil, plant life, and air samples. Zixtal activated his scanner, searching for human settlements. His device showed a small building 3 miles away and a single human approaching their position. Conceal yourselves, he ordered. A native comes. The Kilari quickly hid behind trees and rocks, their adaptive suits changing color to match their surroundings. Zixtal watched as a human male walked into the clearing. The human wore green clothing and a wide hat. He carried a small pack and some kind of primitive communication device. Daniel Wright had been a park ranger for 12 years. He knew every trail in this section of the national park. When he saw the strange lights coming down from the sky, he decided to check it out. Probably just teenagers with drones again, he thought. What he found instead made him stop in his tracks. The ground was scorched in a perfect circle. Strange footprints led away in different directions. These weren't like any boot prints he'd ever seen. "Hello," Daniel called out. "Anyone here?" "This area is restricted after sunset." Hidden nearby, Zixtal made a decision. The Dominion needed to understand these humans better. He stepped out from his hiding place. Daniel's eyes widened. Before him stood what could only be an alien. It was tall and thin with gray skin and 4 eyes. It wore some kind of shimmering suit that seemed to change colors. "Well," Daniel said after a moment, "you're definitely not a teenager with a drone." The alien made a series of clicking sounds. Then a voice came from a device on its chest. "We observe. No harm." Daniel raised his hand slowly. "I'm not looking for trouble. Are you lost?" Zixtal was confused. According to the translation, this human was offering assistance rather than showing fear or aggression. This behavior contradicted their intelligence reports. "Your world. Very dangerous. How survive?" Zixtal asked through the translator. Daniel laughed. "Dangerous? I mean, sure, you've got to watch for bears, and the weather can turn quickly up here. But this is some of the safest wilderness on Earth." The concept translated poorly to Zixtal. This human considered an area with predators, shifting weather, bacteria, and solar radiation to be safe wilderness. Impossible. Suddenly, one of the other Kilari emerged from hiding, clutching at his suit. "Commander, my filter is failing. Atmosphere penetrating." Daniel stepped forward. "Hey, your friend looks like he needs help. I have a first aid kit." "Stop," Zixtal commanded. "We depart now." The Kilari team quickly retreated, moving with surprising speed despite the gravity. Daniel watched in amazement as they disappeared into the trees. "Wait," he called. "At least tell me where you're from." He followed their path and found only empty forest. But on the ground lay a small disc-shaped device the aliens had dropped in their hurry. Daniel picked it up carefully and placed it in his pack. Back on their ship, Zixtal's team prepared their report for Admiral Vextor. The data was troubling. Humans showed none of the expected weaknesses. They breathed the corrosive atmosphere naturally. They moved easily in the crushing gravity. They even exposed their skin to the deadly sun. "This will not be a standard conquest," Zixtal told his team. "These humans are unlike any species we have encountered. The Admiral must know." Above Earth, the full Kilari fleet awaited their report, weapons ready for what they believed would be an easy victory. Daniel Wright drove his truck down the mountain road faster than he should have. The small alien device sat on the passenger seat, occasionally blinking with a soft blue light. He had tried calling his supervisor, but the words, "I met aliens," didn't sound believable even to his own ears. So instead, he drove straight to the nearest military base. 3 days later, the device was in a secure lab at the Pentagon. Dr. Olivia Ramirez had not slept properly since it arrived. She stared at the complex machinery through a microscope, amazed at what she saw. "The metal doesn't match anything on our periodic table," she told the room full of military officers, "and it runs on some kind of energy we can't identify." General Frank Martinez leaned forward. "But what does it do, Doctor?" "It's a scanner and communicator, from what we can tell. And," she paused, "it's still sending signals." A worried murmur went through the room. "To where?" asked Martinez. Olivia pointed to a large screen showing Earth and the surrounding space. "There," she said, indicating a cluster of objects just beyond the moon. "We think those are ships. Many ships." The United Nations Security Council met in emergency session that same day. Representatives from every nation gathered to hear about the alien threat. "We have to prepare for the possibility of invasion," said the U.S. representative. "All military forces worldwide should be on high alert." "How can we fight beings with technology far beyond ours?" asked another representative. "We may not have their technology," said General Martinez, "but we have something they don't expect: knowledge of our own planet. If Earth is as dangerous to them as the Rangers report suggests, that's our advantage." Meanwhile, in orbit around Earth, Admiral Vextor received Commander Zixtal's report with growing concern. "The humans live unprotected in conditions that would kill most Kilari in hours," Zixtal explained. "They breathe the oxygen-rich air that would burn our lungs. They drink water filled with minerals that would poison us. Their bodies handle a high gravity with ease. And they have found one of our devices," added Vextor. "They know we are here." "Should we abort the mission, Admiral?" asked the junior officer. Vextor's 4 eyes narrowed. "No, the Dominion has never retreated. We will not start now." He turned to his tactical officer. "Prepare the fleet for a show of force. Let them see our power. They will surrender when they realize resistance is hopeless." On Earth, Kate Summers and Joey Alvarez were now part of a special Air Force unit preparing for possible air combat with alien craft. They studied the radar records of the strange objects they had detected on patrol. "They move unlike anything I've ever seen," Kate said, watching the flight patterns on the screen. "No G-force limitations, instant direction changes." Joey nodded. "If their ships can do that, our fighters don't stand a chance in a dogfight." "Then we don't dogfight," Kate replied. "We find another way." Their planning session was interrupted by alarms. On every radar screen around the world, massive objects appeared, moving into positions around Earth. Television broadcasts worldwide were interrupted as General Martinez addressed the planet. "Citizens of Earth, we have confirmed the presence of extraterrestrial vessels in orbit around our planet. We don't know their intentions, but we are taking all necessary precautions. Stay calm and follow emergency protocols for your region." As he spoke, the Kilari ships moved into formation, creating a ring around the planet. In his command ship, Admiral Vextor prepared to broadcast his message to Earth. "Attention, humans," his transmission began, automatically translated into Earth languages. "I am Admiral Vextor of the Kilari Dominion. Your planet has been selected for conquest and colonization. Surrender now, and your lives will be spared. Resist, and you will be eliminated." On the bridge of his ship, Vextor smiled. No primitive species had ever stood against the full might of a Kilari armada. He expected Earth's surrender within hours. He was very wrong. The first Kilari attack came at dawn. Their ships descended through the atmosphere, targeting military bases around the world. Beams of energy cut through buildings and vehicles like they were made of paper. The aliens expected quick victory. They did not get it. In Virginia, Marine Staff Sergeant Ashley Collins watched the alien ship hover over her base. She and her squad had taken cover in underground bunkers built during the Cold War. "Remember your training," she told her Marines as the ground shook above them. "Wait for them to land." The Kilari ship landed in what remained of the parade ground. Ramps extended, and alien soldiers emerged in protective suits. Ashley counted 30 of them through her binoculars. "Now," she ordered. Her squad fired from hidden positions. The bullets could not penetrate the aliens' advanced armor, but the impact still knocked several of them down. The Kilari soldiers returned fire, their weapons tearing chunks from the concrete barriers the Marines used for cover. Ashley's radio crackled. "Sergeant Collins, this is Ramirez. Their suits are their weakness. They need them to breathe our air." "Copy that," Ashley replied. She switched channels. "All units, aim for their helmets and joints." The Marines adjusted their aim. This time, when they fired, 2 Kilari soldiers fell as their helmets cracked. The aliens moved back toward their ship, dragging their fallen comrades. Similar scenes played out worldwide. The Kilari found that humans fought back fiercely despite being outgunned. What the humans lacked in technology, they made up for in numbers and determination. In orbit, Admiral Vextor received troubling reports from all landing sites. "Our troops are meeting heavy resistance," his tactical officer reported, "and our ships are experiencing equipment failures in the Earth atmosphere." "Impossible," Vextor snapped. "Our technology is superior in every way. The electromagnetic field of the planet is stronger than our readings indicated," said Zixtal. "And their radio signals are causing interference with our systems." As if to prove his point, alarms blared across the bridge. 3 Kilari ships had suffered catastrophic failures in their engines and were plummeting toward Earth's surface. "Recall all ground forces," Vextor ordered. "We need to reassess our strategy." In the skies over North America, Kate Summers led a squadron of fighters against a Kilari transport ship. The alien vessel moved with incredible speed, but Kate had studied their patterns. "They can't handle tight turns in atmosphere," she told her pilots. "Use the clouds for cover, and hit them when they straighten out." Joey Alvarez followed her lead, diving his jet through a cloud bank and emerging directly behind the alien ship. He fired his missiles, hitting one of the engine pods. Black smoke poured from the damaged ship as it struggled to maintain altitude. "Good hit, Joey," Kate called. "All pilots, target the damaged section." The combined fire from the squadron brought the Kilari ship down in an empty field. As it crashed, the Earth pilots cheered over their radios. Back at the Pentagon, General Martinez watched satellite feeds of the battles. "They're retreating," he announced to the room of tired officers. Dr. Olivia Ramirez nodded. "But they'll be back. They just learned we're not as helpless as they thought." In his command ship, Admiral Vextor paced furiously. "How is this possible? They are primitives." "Admiral," said Zixtal cautiously, "I believe we underestimated them. Their bodies are adapted to Earth's conditions in ways we never anticipated, and their technology, while primitive, is designed to work in their harsh environment." "I will not accept defeat," Vextor declared. "No species has ever resisted the Dominion successfully. These humans will be no different." He turned to his staff. "Withdraw to orbit around their moon. We will study what went wrong and prepare a new strategy." As the Kilari fleet retreated, humans around the world celebrated their first victory. But in military bases and government offices, leaders knew the truth. This was just the beginning of the war. On a captured Kilari ship in Nevada, Dr. Ramirez made an important discovery. "Their environmental suits can't handle our bacteria," she told General Martinez. "Their immune systems have no defense against Earth microbes." Martinez nodded grimly. "So Earth itself is our greatest weapon." The red dust of Mars swirled around the Kilari base. Admiral Vextor had chosen Earth's neighboring planet as their new headquarters. Here, the gravity was lower, the atmosphere thinner, and the radiation levels more manageable for Kilari bodies. We will observe them from here, Vextor told his officers. Learn their weaknesses, then strike again. On one of the view screens, Earth hung like a blue jewel against the blackness of space, so beautiful, yet so deadly to the Kilari. Meanwhile on Earth, Dr. Olivia Ramirez worked day and night in her laboratory. Before her on an examination table lay a wounded Kilari soldier, captured during the failed invasion. He was kept in a sealed chamber that mimicked the atmosphere of his homeworld. His name is Kilvin, Olivia told General Martinez. He was a navigator on one of their ships before joining the ground forces. Martinez studied the alien through the chamber's clear walls. Has he told you anything useful? Yes, Olivia said. The Kilari come from a planet with low gravity, stable climate, and few pathogens. Their bodies never needed to adapt to harsh conditions. They used technology instead. So they conquered other worlds because they couldn't survive on them naturally, Martinez said. Exactly. And Earth is the most extreme planet they've encountered. She pointed to some readings on a nearby screen. Their homeworld has 40% less gravity than Earth. Higher oxygen levels would burn their lungs. Our bacteria are completely foreign to their immune systems. In another room, Professor Ben Howard studied recordings of Kilvin speaking his native language. As an anthropologist, Ben had a gift for understanding cultures through their communication. Their society is built on conquest, he explained to a group of government officials. They believe it proves their superiority over nature. But humans evolved differently. We adapted to our environment rather than trying to control it completely. One official leaned forward. Can we use this difference against them? Ben nodded. I believe we can. The Kilari see adaptation as weakness. They don't understand that it's actually our strength. Inside his sealed chamber, Kilvin watched the humans with growing interest. They had treated his wounds and kept him alive, despite being enemies. This behavior confused him. When Dr. Ramirez entered the room, he spoke through a translation device. Why do you help me live? I am your enemy. Olivia considered her answer carefully. We want to understand you, and killing a helpless opponent isn't our way. Strange, Kilvin replied. Admiral Vextor would not show such mercy. Tell me about Admiral Vextor, Olivia said, sitting down near the chamber. Kilvin's 4 eyes blinked in their strange pattern. He has conquered more worlds than any Kilari in history. He never retreats, never shows weakness. He paused, and he never accepts defeat. What will he do next? Olivia asked. He will find a way to make Earth suitable for Kilari, even if it means making it unsuitable for humans. This information went straight to General Martinez, who called an emergency meeting with military leaders from around the world. Our sources believe the Kilari are planning to alter Earth's environment, he told them. They've established a base on Mars to prepare their next attack. We don't have the technology to reach Mars, said one general. Not with our own ships, Martinez agreed, but we captured several of theirs intact. In a hangar in Nevada, Kate Summers and Joey Alvarez trained on a simulator built to mimic Kilari ship controls. They had been chosen to lead a dangerous mission to Mars. This is crazy, Joey said as they practiced basic flight maneuvers. A week ago, I'd never seen an alien. Now I'm learning to fly their spaceship to Mars. Kate focused on the strange controls. If we don't stop them from changing our atmosphere, there won't be an Earth to come back to. On Mars, Admiral Vextor reviewed the new invasion plan. The terraforming devices are ready, his science officer reported. Once deployed, they will begin increasing carbon dioxide levels and decreasing oxygen. Earth will become uninhabitable for humans within months. Vextor nodded in approval. Begin the operation immediately. The Kilari Dominion will not be defeated by primitives on a death trap of a planet. What he didn't know was that Kilvin had already revealed the details of the terraforming technology to Dr. Ramirez. UN Ambassador Lisa Chen stood before the large screen, looking at the alien face that stared back at her. This was the first direct communication with the Kilari leadership since the failed invasion. "Admiral Vextor, I speak on behalf of Earth's nations," she said calmly. "We wish to discuss terms for peace." The four-eyed alien made a sound that might have been laughter. "There are no terms, human. Only surrender or extinction. Your planet will soon belong to the Dominion." Lisa kept her expression neutral despite her anger. "We have studied your captured technology. We know about the terraforming devices you plan to use against us." For the first time, Vextor showed surprise. "Impossible. How could you?" He stopped suddenly. "The prisoner. Kelvin has betrayed the Dominion. He has helped us understand you better." Lisa replied, "We know your weaknesses now, just as you know ours." "It makes no difference," Vextor said. "My ships are already deploying the devices across your world. Soon your air will be unbreathable, your water undrinkable. Earth will become a Kilari world." The screen went dark as Vextor cut the transmission. Lisa turned to General Martinez. "He's not bluffing. We need to find those devices." On the other side of the room, Kelvin spoke from his portable environment chamber. "The devices will be small, easily hidden. They will be placed near your largest water bodies and forests, places that produce oxygen." Daniel Wright, now working with a special military unit, was searching the forests of Appalachia when his detector began beeping. The device Dr. Ramirez had created led him to a small clearing where a metal object about the size of a basketball sat on the ground. Its surface glowed with a faint purple light. "I found one," he reported over his radio. "Sending coordinates now." Similar reports came in from around the world. A Kilari had placed hundreds of terraforming devices, each one programmed to begin changing Earth's atmosphere. In Nevada, Kate Summers and Joey Alvarez prepared for launch in the captured Kilari ship. Their mission: reach Mars and disable the control center for the terraforming network. "If we fail, these devices will activate in 48 hours, Kate said as they completed the pre-flight checks. "No pressure or anything." Joey gave a nervous laugh. "Just another day at the office, flying an alien spaceship to Mars to save the world." The ship lifted off silently, its advanced engines breaking free of Earth's gravity with ease. Within hours, they were approaching the red planet. "I'm detecting Kilari ships on patrol," Joey said, watching the alien radar system. 6 of them circling the base. Kate adjusted their course. "We'll come in behind Phobos, use the moon for cover, then make a run for the surface." Their plan worked until the final approach. As they emerged from behind Mars' moon, alarms blared in the cockpit. "They've spotted us," Joey shouted. 2 Kilari patrol ships turned to intercept them. Energy beams sliced through space, narrowly missing their ship. Kate pushed the strange controls forward, diving toward the Martian surface. "Hold on." The captured ship was not designed for combat, but Kate used her pilot skills to stay ahead of their pursuers. They skimmed just above the Martian surface, red dust billowing behind them. "The base is just ahead," Joey said, "but we'll never get through their defenses." Suddenly, their communication system activated. A Kilari voice spoke in accented English. "Human vessel, this is Science Director Talon. Several of us disagree with Admiral Vextor's plans. We will help you land." Kate and Joey exchanged surprised looks. "How do we know we can trust you?" Kate asked. "You spoke with kindness to Kelvin." "He is my brother," the voice replied. "Not all Kilari believe in Vextor's ways. Some of us think there is more honor in alliance than conquest." On their screens, they saw one of the Kilari patrol ships turn and fire on the other. The distraction gave Kate the chance to slip through the defenses and land near a side entrance to the base. "Let's move," she told Joey as they put on the modified environmental suits Dr. Ramirez had designed for them. "We've got a planet to save." Inside the Martian base, Admiral Vextor prepared to activate the terraforming network, unaware that humans had already landed, and that some of his own people were helping them. Kate and Joey moved through the Martian base, guided by Science Director Talon. The Kilari scientist led them through service corridors where fewer guards patrolled. "The control center is ahead," Talon whispered. "Admiral Vextor will be there, along with his loyal officers." "How many Kilari support your side?" Kate asked. "Almost 1/3 of the base personnel," Talon replied. "Many believe this war is wrong. We have never faced a species like yours before. Humans adapt naturally to conditions that would kill us. This is not weakness, as Vextor claims. It is strength." They reached a door marked with Kilari symbols. Talon pressed his hand to a scanner, and the door slid open. "The main controls for the terraforming network," he said, pointing to a large console. "Destroy this, and the devices on Earth become useless." Joey moved to the console and began working with the alien technology. "I need time to override their systems." "We don't have much," Kate said, checking her weapon. "Once they realize we're here." Alarms blared throughout the base. A voice spoke in the Kilari language, followed by an automated translation. "Intruder alert. Human presence detected in Section 7. "That's us," Talon said. "We must hurry." Back on Earth, Dangle Wright and teams worldwide worked to disable the terraforming devices they have found. Dr. Ramirez provided instructions based on what Kilvin had told her. "Remove the outer casing carefully," she said over the radio. "Inside you'll find 3 glowing crystals. The blue one controls the power. Remove it first." Daniel followed her instructions, his hand steady despite the pressure. As he pulled out the blue crystal, the device powered down. "It worked," he reported. "1 down, hundreds to go." In orbit around Earth, the Kilari fleet prepared for their final assault, but they faced a surprise. Earth's nations had united their militaries and launched every available weapon against the alien ships. General Martinez watched from the Pentagon as missiles streaked toward the Kilari vessels. Most were destroyed by advanced defenses, but a few got through, damaging several ships. "Keep up the pressure," he ordered. "We just need to hold them off until the Mars team completes their mission." On Mars, Kate, Joey, and Talon were surrounded. Kilari soldiers loyal to Vextor had found them in the control room. Joey still worked frantically at the console, while Kate and Talon held off the attackers. "I need 1 more minute," Joey shouted over the sound of energy weapons. The door to the control room burst open. Admiral Vextor himself entered, his face twisted with rage. "Traitors and primitives," he snarled. "You think you can defeat the Dominion? We have conquered 67 worlds." "But not Earth," Kate said, aiming her weapon at him. "Earth conquered you." Vextor raised his weapon, but before he could fire, another Kilari officer stepped between them. It was Commander Zixtal. "This ends now, Admiral," Zixtal said. "I have seen how the humans live on their world. They are not primitives to be conquered. They are survivors we could learn from." "Got it," Joey shouted. On the main screen, the status of the terraforming network changed from armed to disabled. Vextor let out a howl of rage and fired at Zixtal. The commander fell, wounded but alive. In the confusion, more Kilari officers who supported Talon's faction entered the room, surrounding Vextor and his loyal guards. "The tide has turned, Admiral," Talon said. "The High Council has received my report. They have ordered an end to this invasion." 6 months later, Kate Summers stood in a newly built conference center in Geneva. Beside her stood Talon, now the Kilari ambassador to Earth. They watched as human and Kilari representatives signed the first peace treaty between their worlds. "Did you ever think we'd end up here?" Joey asked, joining them at the window. "Aliens and humans working together instead of fighting." Kate smiled. Earth taught the Kilari something important. Sometimes adaptation is better than conquest. Outside, human children played with young Kilari visitors, all wearing special suits that protected the aliens from Earth's harsh environment. "The Dominion has officially classified Earth as an ultra-death world," Talon said. "The only one in known space. and humans are now renowned throughout the galaxy for their extraordinary resilience. What about the other worlds the Kilari conquered? Kate asked. Many are seeking independence, inspired by Earth's resistance, Talon replied. The age of the Dominion's conquest is ending. A new age of adaptation and cooperation is beginning. Daniel Wright, now an official liaison with the Kilari, joined their group. Who would have thought? He said. All those planets they conquered, and Earth turned out to be the one world that conquered them back.